So I'm going to lay this guy down on top of here, and we're going to work today on creating some Croquis that have movement. So I'm going to put a couple on the camera here, put them right over this sheet. So this lady looks like she's walking a little bit. So you notice her hips and her shoulders and her hips are off a little bit. And one leg is longer and straighter, and the other one has a bent knee. So we're going to work on this girl first. Okay. So I'm going to just put some tracing paper, or you can draw right on this if you have an extra sheet if you want, or just put it off to the side. Or you can do it without. You can use a ruler, completely up to you. Okay, so I'm going to do the head the exact same as I did before. So I'm going to do an oval shape. And my hands are in the way, so I might move this over here. You guys can see better. I'm right-handed. So I'm going to do an oval shape for her head that goes between lines 1 and 2. Okay, and then I'm going to have her look like she's walking. So I'm going to make my line for her shoulders. I'm just going to make a diagonal line. So I kind of know which way I want that to go. So I want her to look that way. And then at the hip line, down here on 4, I'm going to go the opposite direction. So if you look in the mirror while you're doing this and see how you walk, this will help. So I want her shoulders to look like they're slanted a little bit and her hips to look like they're slanted. And then this hip will be out here a little bit more and up. And then I'm going to have this leg or foot be longer. So I'm just going to make that foot go all the way up. Okay, and I'll round out my edges later. And then I'm going to have this foot look like it's going back a little bit. So I'm going to do that on the ankle. About her ankle-ish, I'm going to go a little bit lower than that line. So I'm going to draw under the 9. And if you guys have questions, put them in the chat. I left that up on the screen so I could see it. Okay, so I'm just going to have that foot go up a little bit. Okay. So I've got an idea of how I want her shoulders to be. So I'm going to just connect her neck to my shoulders. So you're going to see more on the right side than you are on the left, and it might look different for you guys too. Make her head a little bit bigger there. Okay. And then I'm going to draw her shoulders, and this shoulder is going to be up higher. So I'm going to just kind of round her out. Come on over here. And this one's going to be a little bit lower, more of a slant, and have her come out to that C line, comes out. Okay. Her waist is going to be the same, except it's going to be a little bit out of diagonal. Okay, so I'm going to have the waistline. I'm going to have to move down her hip line. I drew that too far up. Okay, so I'm going to have her hip line come down here a little farther. There we go. So hip line there, her waistline, which is at that 3.25 line, I'm going to have that go at the same level as her hips. Okay, and I'm going to just put in her waist and her hips here. Round that out a little bit. And this is my long leg. So I'm just going to go down to my knee area, and I'm going to draw that little circle at her knee. So I'm just going to have that come in a little bit. Hip line. And then I'm going to have, I went too far. And then I'm going to have her calf be thicker there, come down to her ankle, and smooth that out. Okay. And her calf is going to be bigger on the outside than it is. It's more of a straight line on the inside. Excuse me. I'm sorry. I have a cold, so that makes this real fun. And I'm going to do a panty line this way. So I kind of have an idea. Oops, that's too high. Okay. And then I'm going to fill out her leg here. At her hip line. Come back down. Okay. And then this side is going to be longer from the waist to the hip and a little bit more in because it's coming forward, okay? So I'm gonna smooth that out. Okay, so her knee's gonna be a little bit higher on this side because it's coming forward, it's bent. So I'm gonna have it come in between above line 6. I'm gonna go a little higher than that so it looks like it's really sticking out. So I'm gonna go between 6. So see how it's a little bit higher? And then I'm gonna smooth that out. Yep. That's a really big leg. And this takes a little practice to get this to look right. I'm doing some big hips today for some reason. And my eraser there, that's doing a better job of erasing. Okay, and then this is going to kick out a little bit. So it looks like it's bent. So I'm gonna come in and I'm gonna have her thicker part of her leg on the inside. Right? And then her ankle. And mess with her feet. There we go. Let's get that. Okay. And she's looking a little deformed here. So I'm going to smooth her out and I'm going to work up here on her top. Okay. I'm going to make her wider or longer through the torso here. I've got her breasts are going to be here. And this one's going to be a little bit lower. Okay. And I'm going to make her arms. And I'm going to have this arm go behind her hip like she's walking. So her arms behind. You can do the elbows too, okay? This one's going to be a little bit higher. This one's going to be a little bit lower, okay? And it really helps to look in the mirror when you're drawing. And I'm going to have this hand come out in front, this arm come out in front like she's walking. And like I said, I'm not good at hands, but I'm going to give it my best shot here. I'm going to make them look like lobster claws to begin with, okay? All right. And then you can go back and smooth them up. Make your arm a little more. Okay, so I've got a bent leg, so she looks like she's walking. And when you put clothes on here, this will help too. I think I got her knee off to the side a little too far here. She's looking a little bow-legged. Okay, so you can bring her in a little bit. Her knee should be about right there. There we go. So this leg is coming forward. This one's going back. I'm going to bring this knee down because I think it's a little high. So kind of play around with how those knees look. I'm going to bring that down. Looks like it's bent a little bit. Okay, and then when you go, she's kind of looking like a football player again, which I have a habit of making some big, big shoulders. Okay. So then when you have your person in walking, and I have a bunch of videos that I will attach to Canvas today. I tried to do them last night at home, but I was having problems. They were too big for my Wi-Fi. Okay, so once you have your person in motion, okay, so you can have her in motion like that. Okay, so here's one that looks a little better. I spent a little more time on. Okay, in motion there. Here's another girl that I have in motion. Okay, so she's, if you put her on this little guy, she's a little bit bigger, but she's in motion. She's walking. Her legs are a little bit crossed. She's got some